Hi, I'm Bernie McGurl with the Lackawanna River Corridor Association, and we're standing on the banks of the Lackawanna River down in Old Forge, Pennsylvania on a very cold December the 12th in 2013. And you notice in back of me, the rocks on the riverbed are orange. We're just a few hundred feet below the discharge point of the Old Forge borehole. It's an outfall where the flooded mine water from the mines underneath Scranton and the mid-valley of the Lackawanna Valley pour out at 60 million gallons a day into the Lackawanna River and dissolved in that mine water and causes one of the largest, most visible point sources of water pollution in the entire Chesapeake Bay region. And in a little while we'll be moving to cover a news conference that was held this morning just right along the border of Old Forge and Duryea at an abandoned mine colliery site. That was a very historic and important announcement about the development of a mine water treatment plant to be developed here by a consortium of groups led by Susquehanna Mining Solutions, a private investment operation, and in partnership with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and local community organizations like the Lackawanna River Corridor Association and the Eastern Pennsylvania Coalition for Abandoned Mine Reclamation. The announcements were made of a significant state and private investment to help clean up the Lackawanna River, one of the largest sources of iron oxide pollution into the Chesapeake and Susquehanna rivers.
First of all, I want to thank everybody that's here to come out on this really cold day. I am Charles Medico. I'm president of SMS Corporation. The vice president of SMS is Chris Gillis, who's here, and Ed Stanks is here. He's our controller. I want to take this. At this point, I'd like to introduce some attendees, and I'm going to start with Harry Forbes from the Governor's Northeast Office, Bill Goldsworthy from the Governor's Northeast Office, Brian Langan from Senator Pat Toomey's office, Senator John Blake, Senator Lisa Baker. I didn't see Lisa here, but she's on the list here confirmed. Senator John Udicek, Representative Michael Carroll, Representative Phyllis Mundy, Representative Sid Michaels Kavulich, Lackawanna County Commissioner Corey O'Brien and Patrick O'Malley, Lackawanna County Commissioner Jim Wanzak, Luzerne County Council President Tim McGinley, Luzerne County Manager Robert Lawton, Duryea Borough Keith Moss and his council, Old Forge Borough Mayor-elect Mayor Mulcairn, Mike Bedrin. I didn't see Mike here. I think he couldn't make it, but I believe that Mike Korb from the PADEP is here with the Abandoned Mine Reclamation Committee. People from the SRBC and the DCED. I want to especially thank Alan at the Alan Walker, who really played a key part in getting us to where we are today. We have the CFA Commonwealth Financial Authority people here. Rosemary DeSoy and Joe Burke with the Greater Pittston Chamber of Commerce, who were one of the first group of people that we went to see to get their support. They're doing a terrific job there and naturally helped us along. Joe Okrepke from the Ben Franklin Technologies Partners is here. Bernie McGurl from the Lackawanna River Corridor Association, and Representative Robert Hughes, Eastern PA Coalition of Abandoned Mine Reclamation. These last two guys are going to be very key to us moving this project forward. These guys have been working in this area for a long time, accumulating a lot of information that we're going to need taking this project forward, doing other projects that will be associated with this. We're here today to talk about the Susquehanna Mining Solutions first phase of this project to treat the mine drainage water out of the Old Forge borehole. How did I get here? How did Charlie Medico get here? Well, about 4 years ago, a man by the name of Matt Gillis, who was an engineer that worked with me and my family when we were still in Pittston on Tompkins Street before we built the building up on the highway. Matt Gillis was an engineer. He worked with us until the mid-60s and went and became the chief engineer down at Hahnemann Hospital in Philadelphia. Well, anyway, he called me and he said, Charlie, I would like you to meet my son. He developed a process and has patented technology on how to clean acid mine drainage water. And I thought, well, yeah, rust. He wants me to try to recover some rust. I really didn't have that. Well, to take it forward, we met, Chris and Matt and I, and he told me about the project, and it turns out that this rust is not really rust. It's nanoparticles, nano iron particles. I didn't know anything about it. Chris told me a little about it, but for me to really get involved, I wanted to be sure. So I took some of this rust and sent it to Dr. Everett Carpenter down at Virginia University, VCU. In about 2 weeks, he called me back and he said to me, Charlie, I've been trying to duplicate these nanoparticles of this size and this shape and this quality in my lab for 2 years. He said, I have about 2 ounces. We sent him, Chris sent him 1 pound. Well, he was absolutely flabbergasted. He said, I want to talk to you guys. So Chris and I drove down to Washington, met with Dr. Carpenter, and he said, what you have here is really a special product that has many, many uses going forward. This nanotechnology is a thing of the future in many areas of business and industry. So that got my attention, and that's why we're here. And thank God for guys like Matt Gillis and Chris Gillis. And Chris, if it wasn't for Chris and working on this technology for the last 20 plus years, we would not be here. So Chris, I want to thank you, and in the end, the state of Pennsylvania is going to thank you also. I've been involved in a lot of projects over the years, but none of them has had the positive potential outcome of this. Cleaning the river. That the state basically has been in violation for the last 50 years by the federal government. They've been mandated to clean this thing up, and they had no way to do it. This is going to do it. This is going to clean the Lackawanna River. It's going to clean the Susquehanna River. It's going to, in the future, solve future flooding due to high water. When we get a hold of this water coming out of the ground, we'll be able to basically squeeze it to slow it down and open it to let it out. In drought conditions, we will be able to let water out into the Susquehanna River. Going forward, there is a shortage of water in the lower Susquehanna River basin, going all the way down to the Chesapeake Bay. We can retain the water underground in the largest underground reservoir in the state, probably bigger than Lake Wallenpaupack, and hold it back during high water conditions and release it during low water conditions in the summer. There's so many good things about this that the geothermal alone, we're going to be able to take this water and create all the energy we need to heat to the buildings and all the processes that we need here. We're going to have all the energy we need coming right out of the ground. At this time, I would like to turn over the program to Tom. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Before I do that, I want to introduce our team. The rest of our team is Ron Sapkowski at King's College, who has been working with Chris for the past few years on this project. Dr. Everett Carpenter, who could not be here. Brian Oram, owner of BF Environmental Consultants and Water Treatment Systems. Joe Boylan, Ashburn Advisors, and Tom Riley, president of Riley Associates. Tom, if you'd come up here, I'd like to turn the program over to you and carry it on.
Thanks, Charlie. Thank you. We are really excited about this project, and we're excited about it because this is one of the biggest environmental issues in the state, and especially in Northeast Pennsylvania. There's been enormous strides have been made in the Lackawanna River in the last 50 years with treatment facilities that have allowed the river to return to a condition where we have trophy trout just a quarter mile upstream of here. And then at the Old Forge borehole, as you can see in the pictures, we begin what is the Orange River. And that Orange River extends 3 miles downstream to the Lackawanna River and is visible for at least 3 more miles in the Susquehanna River, and has significant ecological impacts on the Lackawanna and the Susquehanna River and the entire Susquehanna River basin. And that impact is because there is well over 4 tons of iron every day that exits that borehole and then deposits in the river, with significant impacts on the ecology of the river. And it is the largest visible point of pollution in the Chesapeake Bay. This project what's unique about it is that it's a partnership between the public entities, a private for-profit business, and nonprofit partners that will result in a sustainable solution, a solution basically with all working together to get going, will sustain itself and pay for its operations. Picture we have over there is of the proposed facility, and on the top of the page is the main treatment facility. Basically, we convey the water to the main treatment facility. That facility is about 200 foot by 1,300 foot, and it's located right behind where all of you are standing, on its property that extends another 2,000 feet to the south. It's treated, and then the light blue are polishing ponds where it's polished, and then what you see as stripes there is a aquatic or fish farming facility where the 65 million gallons a day of clean water will be able to foster a viable and productive fish farm, where we expect to be able to market trout in that location, grown there. And the red is a facility for use of the clean water for hydroponics hydroponic farming. The other uses, we expect to be able to use the force of the flow for hydropower, and we expect to use the heat or geothermal energy in the flow in that water to heat and cool our facilities and to dry the iron oxide for processing. We think that this announcement is a significant step forward in launching us on our on going forward in the design and implementation of the project. The next person I'd like to introduce is the representative from Governor Corbett's Northeast office, Billy Goldsworthy. Thanks.
I'd just like to say we're very happy to partner with Susquehanna Mining Solutions to help eliminate what Tom mentioned, which I don't know if he went over it really quick. I don't know if everybody caught it. We have the distinction of having the most visible pollution to the Chesapeake Bay right here. I mean, this Orange River. Be glad to get rid of it. I know I would. At a side note, I'm from West Pittston. I look at it every day in the river, in the Susquehanna. The other real neat function of this is the money grant that they just received is from Act 13 money, which basically comes from Marcellus Shale. So here we have our new energy helping eliminate problems from the past from the coal mining industry. So we're looking forward to this project and working with this company and making this solution work here and hopefully in other areas of the state where it could be a benefit to not only the residents by creating jobs, eliminating the orange water, but also really improving our environment in the fact that we'll have water, trout, we'll have fish, we'll have a live river again. So congratulations, and we look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce someone who has been instrumental in bringing us to this point and has been advised us on how to go forward and has been a tremendous champion of environmental issues in Northeast Pennsylvania as well as economic issues. Senator John Blake.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Charlie. You know, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things you learn about when you're in public office is that people that you represent are often subject to circumstances that for which they're not responsible and over which they really have little control. And the people of Duryea and the people of Old Forge, and as my good friend Mr. Goldsworthy just pointed out, the people of West Pittston have had to look out their window at an Orange River for over 50 years. 50 years. The Duryea outfall, 15 million gallons per day, 525 tons of iron oxide sediment per year. The Old Forge borehole, 65 million gallons per day, 1,584 tons of iron oxide sediment per year. It seems incomprehensible. It seems incomprehensible. And this is every day for 50 years, and even as we're standing here. So I feel very strongly that this is something, again, that the state needs to be a partner in supporting. There have been a lot of fits and starts to try to deal with this issue over time. I think that the model that's presented here, because it involves a for-profit and commercial enterprise, and because it has an opportunity, as Tom mentioned, to be sustainable in the partnerships that are established, is worthy of the state's support. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge someone that's in this tent who's dedicated his entire life to the cleanup of the river, and that's Bernie McGurl from the Lackawanna River Corridor Association. Bernie, glad to see you here, and I know this is a very important day for you. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, that this is going to take a lot of steps. There's a lot of things in the critical path that have to happen here, but step by step, I can assure you this: that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, under my influence of my office as well as my colleagues in the House, we're going to monitor this process, be a good partner wherever we can be, leverage the appropriate state tax dollars where they can be, in the hopes that they can marry the private investment and the risk that's really going to be taken here to guarantee the commercial success of this enterprise. And I'm just glad to be part of it. This is the first step in a long process, but we're going to walk with them all the way. So Best wishes, Charlie.
Thanks, Senator.
committee, Senator Udechak, who is a very important player in the environmental issues statewide, and whose district encompasses a lot of the area downstream of here that's impacted by the project, and has been very instrumental in bringing us to where we are today. Senator Udechak.
It's always great to be introduced as the senator from downstream. This is a very historic occasion. It's a very important occasion, and as the Democratic chair of the Senate Environmental and Energy Committee, it's great to be a supporter of this project, to be on the ground floor with what promises to be one of the most important environmental projects in the history of Lackawanna and Luzerne County. I see my friends, the Lackawanna commissioners here, Jim Wanzak and Corey O'Brien, Luzerne County represented here. This is about northeastern Pennsylvania. This is about leaving a legacy to our children that they deserve, a clean river. I think about it often because personally, my father, my grandfather, coal miners, like many of us who have family members that worked in the mines. But now I have 4 beautiful little girls, have no concept of what the mining industry was, have no idea that there were coal mines and collieries, have no idea. But they look at that Orange River every day. We are going to change the legacy for those 4 beautiful girls and their children. We're going to change the legacy of northeastern Pennsylvania. I want to thank Charlie Medico and his team, the vision that you have had and the investment that you are making in partnering with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, partnering with Luzerne and Lackawanna County to leave that legacy to our children. I want to say thank you very much. It is, as Mr. Goldsworthy, my friend from West Pittston, mentioned, he probably knows better than anybody. He didn't have to look outside his window to see the river. It was in his living room. He had about 6 feet of water in the last flooding back in 2011. This is, of course, an environmental issue, but it's also about addressing our flooding problems in communities like West Pittston and Plymouth Township and other low-lying areas, Plains Township, Jenkins, where folks that every time that we have high water get problem. So this is an environmental issue. This is a public safety issue. So I'm glad to partner with my friends, Mike Carroll, Sid Kavulich, John Blake, to make this kind of investment. $1 million is a small investment that the Commonwealth can make in terms of leaving that legacy. And my friend Sid Kavulich, he told me, I'm trying to understand the science of this trial. I'm trying to understand the science. He said, you know, the force of that water coming out of that borehole, the force of it is like a locomotive. There's only one force more powerful in this region than the water coming out of that borehole. I said, what is that, Sid? He said, the Old Forge Blue Devils. Go Old Forge Blue Devils. Win that state championship. Thank you. Charlie.
Thank you, Senator.
I want to point out that right here you're sitting probably right on the line between Luzerne and Lackawanna counties, and right on the line between the districts of Representative Carroll and Representative Kavulich, and we're addressing a regional and a multi-county and multi-district issue. And on the Duryea side and Luzerne County side, our state representative Mike Carroll has been a very passionate advocate of environmental and economic issues, and we are very grateful for all the help for this project, and I'd like him to say a few words.
Thanks, Tom, and welcome everyone. It really is important for us to be here today to think about this regional project. You know, for my entire life, we've endured that. We've endured that Orange River here in Lower Lackawanna and Upper Luzerne County. And despite the fact that it's called the Lackawanna River, named the Lackawanna River, and despite the fact that it's named the Old Forge Borehole, I can tell you as the representative for Duryea Borough and Pittston area that we endure that Orange River and have endured it for 50 years. And so it's imperative that the 2 counties, that the leaders of both counties, the Old Forge leaders, the Duryea leaders, and everybody from throughout our region come together and embrace a plan. Because up until now, we have had no plan. The sad reality is, when anybody asks me what the plan was related to the cleaning of the Lackawanna River as it flowed through Duryea, my sad response up until now had been, check back with me in 100 years and we'll see how nature did. Now we have a far better answer, and that better answer is a partnership with Susquehanna Mining Solutions, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and all those that have been mentioned here today. This really is a critical step for our region to clean a wonderful asset, the Lackawanna River, and the subsequent assets, the Susquehanna River and the Chesapeake Bay. This is a great day and a great step forward, and I thank everyone for being a partner in this effort. Thank you.
On the Lackawanna County and Old Forge side, we're represented by Sid Michaels-Kavulage, who has also been a tremendous advocate for environmental and economic issues, and a tremendous supporter of the Old Forge Blue Devils. And I'd like Sid Michaels to come forward and say a few words.
Well, Tom Riley cracked a smile. How about that? I was going to say, I was looking around as I was standing here listening to everybody talk, and everybody looks so somber. And maybe because Tom has the same emotion whether he finds a penny, his wife gives birth, or he's introducing a multi-million-dollar project to clean up the Chesapeake Bay, the Susquehanna River, and the Lackawanna River. But it is a great day. And when you think about it, so many different pieces come together. This is the blending of the past and the future. What was thought to be a good idea 50 years ago to drill the borehole is now turning out to be a good idea as the past comes together with the nanotechnology, and it's bringing the past to the future for the benefit of future generations. When you look at private, public, and nonprofit partnerships all coming together. When you look, as was mentioned, our Lackawanna County Commissioners, Lackawanna County and Luzerne County coming together on a project which is going to be so wonderful and so great on so many different levels. And finally, the Lackawanna River, the Susquehanna River, the Chesapeake Bay, all now cleaned up and leaving a legacy of clean water and a legacy that will benefit generations for many, many years to come. So really, this is a great day. Let's see if we can get Tom to smile some more and really celebrate this and give a big hand for everybody involved once again, because this truly is an historic project. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to thank everyone, including the administration, the governor's office, the DEP, the CFA, and all the elected officials, all of you guys here, and more, for continued support for this project. It's more than worthwhile. Thank you, and have a great day, everybody.
So we just saw and heard the announcement about the major investment of state funds and private funds led by the Susquehanna Mining Solutions Company as a collaboration with the state of Pennsylvania to help clean up the Old Forge borehole, as well as another nearby mining discharge at the Duryea outfall. This project has been about 25 years in coming. We're pleased to offer the support of the Lackawanna River Corridor Association and our collaboration with Susquehanna Mining Resources and the elected officials in Luzerne and Lackawanna counties and our state elected officials. We're very excited about this project. The hard work is just beginning, and I'm pleased to have the opportunity to see this river get cleaned up. After 25 years of working along the Lackawanna River, I think this is the best chance we've had to address this one large remaining source of mining pollution while we create opportunities for the entire community. The Lackawanna River Corridor Association invites you to visit our website at www.lrca.org for more information on the Old Forge borehole project, as well as information and opportunities to volunteer with the LRCA. We have projects and activities that we're participating in as a lead agency and also as a partner up and down the Lackawanna River, from Pittston to Old Forge to Scranton to the Mid-Valley to Forest City, and on up our tributary streams like Leggett's Creek up into the Abingtons, and Springbrook and Roaring Brook on out to the North Pocono region. If you live anywhere in the Lackawanna River watershed, we'd love to have you as a member of the LRCA. Visit our website to find out about exciting membership opportunities and volunteer opportunities. And we'd like to have you mark your calendar for Saturday, May 31st, 2014 for Riverfest. It's a day-long celebration of the Lackawanna River. Come on out, join us, help get this river cleaned up. Again, you can visit our website at www.lrca.org or visit the LRCA on Facebook. Come on out and enjoy the Lackawanna River.